This is the right way. The signs are leading me. They brought me here.
She knows that all through this world, there are signs and symbols waiting to be discovered. The meaning is there. If only you can find it. If you want.
Do not forget my stories, Senua. I am with you still. Out of hell you have come, and now find yourself in Midgard, the world of men.
We should have thrown you overboard. I wish you had drowned like the others. Just wait till I get free.
He won't help us.
The Skald's verse speaks of a man called Grettir the Strong. A strange and bloody life he led. And it happened in this land you have come to. Listen to his story, Senua, for it may in some small way illuminate your own.
It's hanging from a pole. Like a cow. What could do this? Forever remembers. What was that? Something is hidden. Can you see it?
Say that in Grettir's time, a nearby farm was plagued by hauntings. A shepherd called Glamour was killed by some evil force, found dead in the snow, bloated and black. His body could not be taken to burial because he was held fast to the ground. So it was left. 3 days after his death, the body was missing. Say that in Grettir's time, a nearby farm was plagued by hauntings. A shepherd called Glamour.
There, the light. Look, go towards it. What is it? Look.
See there.
Face. Focus, Senua. Focus. So beautiful. They're moving. Moving, transforming. Where will it take you? Where? Look, life. Focus, Senua. In all the places of the earth, they know that the gods and spirits affect man's path. All the misfortune that befalls man lies at their feet. If you have eyes to see, you see their presence and their power. Keep your eyes open, traveler. and you might see their faces.
Tell how the revenant Glamour roamed the settlements, terrifying all those who lived there. Each one he killed, in turn, rose to walk beside him. Thus, evil begets evil. But the man Grettir was proud and overbearing, and thought the Droiger no match for his strength.
This land is cursed, Senua.
We will only find death.
Everyone is dying, and you know they will blame you.
Everyone does.
We do.
What are you going to do?
What can we do?
Follow him. Here, they once said that Loki lies imprisoned in a cave, trapped by his enemies, who set a serpent above to drip venom on his face. His wife, Sigyn, sits beside to catch the venom in a bowl, but when she must leave to empty it, the poison falls unabated. His pain is so great that he thrashes and writhes. And here above, we see the earth shake and break apart.
If we go with him, she will find us.
We will find her.
Maybe you can find her, Senua.
Fought and killed the Droiger Glamour. But not before Glamour had cursed him. His strength would be turned against him. His deeds bring death and exile. And he would be always before Grettir's eyes, making him afraid to be alone. He saw all sorts of phantoms wherever he looked. And thus, people who see things that aren't there are said to have Glamour's eyes.
They are dead if they don't fight back.
Across the sea, they know that the earth is carried in the arms of a giant. When he is vexed or injured, he may not carry his burden so gently, and the world will feel his anger and pain.
Grettir's kinsman Thorgrim, there was a terrible famine. No crops could be grown, and the fish fled the nets. It lasted years, and the people were desperate. There was no respite even in spring, since terrible gales from the north would rise up and set in for weeks. This is a cold and unforgiving land, Senua.
In a land far away, they say the winds are trapped inside the earth. They try always to make their escape, and they buffet and beat on the walls of their prison, causing the earth to quiver. And when they break through, they make their escape. They explode out in fury.
But be careful.
No more sacrifices.
Be careful, Senua.
This stops now.
Is that Torgestor Borkavir? What is he doing? To help?
Not here. He won't help us.
In the time of famine, at the place known as Rifsker, Thorgrim found a huge finback whale, beached and dead. His neighbour, Thorfinn, had already found it and was in the process of flensing it. But Thorgrim claimed it as his own. Thorfinn said he would not give it up without a fight. If that's what you want, Thorgrim said, let it be so. And he launched a blow at Thorfinn, cutting off his head in one strike.
In the lands of your birth, people live hidden too, in the hills and stones. They may be the remnants of a godly race who lost a war with giants and, finding the world changed, retreated into silence. But you still see their carvings and circles from the time when they walked among men.
It's test, Senua. But there will be more.
There's always more.
Well done, Senua.
She is strong enough.
You will not die like the others before.
You will survive this.
Thorgrim knew.
He could see her.
See what she really is.
He knows about us.
He can hear us as well.
He doesn't hate her.
Hate us.
Not like the others.
Accepts her.
He
Accepts
knows
us.
her.
He wasn't surprised.
Here, they know that if times are harsh, you may ask of the hidden folk to share their bounty. And if you are strong and wise and good, they may hear your plea and send you aid. But if you are not, or if you do not respect the strictures they lay down, you might have your strife doubled.
Say that the neighbors fought, armed only with the knives and axes they had brought to cut up the whale, even picking out the whale ribs to beat down their enemies. Thorgrim's men had loaded their boats with whale meat, but as they went to leave, one of their opponents struck Thorgrim's brother a fatal blow. And this is how hunger fates desperate men to come to blows, striking out against one another to survive.
She's on the right path.
It might be true.
What Thorgrim has said.
She is the light hand he would find
She needs to prove it.
before we let him in.
Prove to them.
Prove it to you.
Can you show them, Senua?
Show us, Senua.
In the lands of your birth, and in these lands too, they know that people can be taken by the secret fair ones. If you are not careful and do not keep to the pathways, you may find yourself among them.
Can you still hear them?
Don't lose the thread.
The hidden thread.
Speak of the time Grettir, traveling with some others, ran into rough weather and docked their boat on an island. They had not brought fire with them, and the merchants complained bitterly. Seeing a great fire blazing on the other side of the strait, Grettir said he would swim over to fetch it. He took off his clothes and struck out across the water, wearing nothing but a cloak.
Yes, she can still hear them.
She can.
We can follow them.
You have to follow them now.
When Grettir came to the farm where the fire was burning, all was peaceful. By the time he reached them, his cloak was frozen stiff, and he looked like nothing more than some huge troll. The frightened farmhands struck out at him with the first things to hand, the burning logs from the fire. Grettir fought them off and got the fire he sought. But the sparks from the logs spread fire all over the house, and nobody survived the blaze.
Where are we going, Senua?
I have a bad feeling about this.
I don't like this. What were they looking for?
The hidden folk.
Like, what is this place? Just a cave.
She knows what she's doing.
It's a trick.
In a land to the east, they know that when a traveler finds themselves lost, it is the fault of the Vadataj, who wait at the crossroads to trick souls passing by. The only remedy is to let your horse lead you home, because beasts have no souls. But if you have no horse, your soul is lost forever.
Just like the others,
No one will remember you.
you will be nothing.
Be careful with your torch.
Don't let the torch die.
If the light goes out, we will be lost here forever.
Did they have to fight?
She needs to be careful.
Careful, Senua.
The Skalds speak of how Grettir, now an outlaw, took rest on the island of Haramsoy with a man called Audun. Grettir saw a great yellow glow like a fire rising from the ground. Audun told him it was coming from the burial mound of Kar the Old, who ever since he died had haunted the island, and warned him to stay away.
To be done here.
What's to be done? To do? Find out.
Yes, she found a way. Sometimes things hide in the darkness.
Sometimes they hide in the light.
In this place, they know that sometimes the hidden folk will take their children and leave another in their place. These children may look the same as their own, but will be dazed and far away, or ill-tempered. And you know then you have a changeling in your house.
What's to do?
There's only one way to find out.
Water everywhere.
This must be a special place.
Senua, you have to get out of here. You could still die.
this land, when people cannot raise their children, they will leave them in a sacred place for the hidden folk to take and care for. Sometimes these children come back, but it is said that they are changed with a wildness in their eyes, and their parents do not want them.
Asking for it. What does it want from us? Knows we're here. How can we prove ourselves?
Feel us.
She has to prove herself.
We must.
Into the darkness, endless, endless darkness.
There's more to find, more to see.
More rock, deeper in we go. Looking, the further we go.
The Scalds say Grettir wanted the sword that was buried in Kar's How and would not be deterred from seeking it. He broke the mound open and started digging until he reached the timber props. By this time it was night. Audun warned him again not to continue, but Grettir threw down a rope and went inside the mound.
Sometimes she feels the darkness will never end, or worse. It will get deeper and darker until she's crushed under it. Her last breath floating up to the sky she will never see again. But it is over. There is a shift, an invitation. They draw her onwards, just out of reach, but there. She's close now.
These people know that children who have died uncared for can return.
Look, the rocks
Floating there.
floating there.
It's there. The hidden folk. She is close now. Can you feel them? Can you hear them?
Close to their world.
Their world.
Grettir found the sword he was seeking, Kar's loom, buried in the grave mound. He went to leave, but before he could reach the rope, something grabbed him from behind, and Grettir realized the mound dweller would not let his treasure go. The two fought ferociously until Grettir got the advantage and chopped off the revenant's head. But Kar's loom would prove his undoing, fated to be the sword that killed him.
Can you see it?
We give you this moment as reward.
Feel it.
You know, Senua.
This is what it feels like when you follow your destiny.
You know what to do.
Is this place where you belong?
The beauty of it.
Drink deep. Wander. Remember. For there may not be others.
You know it. You can feel it. We can feel it. She knows. This is right. Life and light and war.
In this land, you may catch sight of the Landesir, the spirits who embody the sacred places,
Destined to be
the rivers and rocks. Do you see the Lady of the Mountain, the Fiak Kunan, who bathes in the waterfall and lets the drops fall on her shoulders?
The Skald's verse tells how Grettir made many enemies with his proud and overbearing nature. Always quick to anger, his strength and fighting prowess meant that even the most trivial of quarrels met a fatal end. The kinsmen of those he killed or maimed were angry, and because he was an outlaw, no one was allowed to help him.
Björk can't be trusted. They demand food from us, and if we don't give it, they take us as sacrifice. Do you understand?
She knows what it's like to lose people, just like you, just like us. Senua, you can help her. You can. She wants to help. But can she?
In the heart of the Northlands, they know the storms are born of the Oshkuredi, the hunt of Odin. The huntsmen ride horses with eyes of fire. Their weapons clash like thunder, and it is best to hide inside, lest your spirit be called to join them.
Father tried to protect her, but she refused to leave his side. I miss her. I miss all of them.
She loved them. She lost them.
The outlaw Grettir fled to the island of Drangi. His enemies knew he was there, but he was still so strong and fierce, nobody could shift him. Thorbjorn, first among his foe, sent his foster mother to see Grettir. She was a Seithkona and very wily. She enchanted a tree branch and sent it to wash up on Drangi. Grettir tried to cut it up for firewood, but his axe flew back and struck him in the leg. The wound blackened and festered, and Grettir feared his time was close.
The meaning is here.
We see everything. The hatred in their hearts. Salvanisi was born of this place. We saw it. Seek us again, and we will show you. If you can find it, look for us by the sea.
They are showing us the truth.
In your lands, traveler, they know that the Kailith, the Hag of Winter, is the one who hurls sleet and snow upon the land. She lives in a sea rock and rules the waves of the roiling winter ocean with her blackthorn staff. She strikes the ground to destroy the shoots of growing green, so the winter will lie long and low on the land.
Yes. Senua Saga Hellblade.
She wants to find
She needs to know his name. You have to find out. She needs to understand. If you want to kill him, you need to know. They can help her understand. Get up. Follow the light. There it is. What does it mean?
The Skalds say Grettir, wounded by Seidr, was now so weak it was possible for his enemies to defeat him. Under cover of night, Thorbjorn and his men attacked his shelter. They tried to disarm him, but he clung so firmly to his sword Karsloom that they had to cut off his arm to get it free. Then they used his sword to cut off his head, and the land's mightiest outlaw was dead.
These people know that the sea god, Ran, sets out nets to trap sailors and drag them to her world. She sends the waves, her daughters, to wreck boats so she will have more men to take. And jealously, she pulls them down beneath the water.
Everybody hiding. Lonely, tucked away, frightened. They never come out. Life is just endurance here.
People here speak of warriors who can transform themselves into bears when they are enraged. Their skin becomes hide so thick, no sword or spear can break it. When King Hrolfr fought Skald, many people saw a great bear fighting beside him, who killed more men with its paw than any 5 soldiers.
They survive, in spite of everything.
She is strong.
Ástriðr holds them together.
She deserves more than this. They deserve more than this.
How has she kept them together?
We must find her.
She will help us.
As the Droigar glamour had predicted, all Grettir's brave and fine deeds brought him misery. So fate makes prisoners of us all. But it was Grettir's nature that made him fight the Droigar, and Grettir's nature that led to blood feud and exile. So what is truly our prison, Senua? Is our path ordained, and we powerless to change it? Or do we blame uncertain powers for what we ourselves ordain?
Infects this place. They deserve more. These people. They don't deserve to suffer like this.
You can help them.
You can. You know what to do now.
Only you can do it.
Find Ástriðr.
She can do it.
You can. They need you.
Men here will tell of how Jarl Hakon worshipped the giant Þorgerða and sought her aid in the middle of battle when the tide was turning against him. Fleeing to an island, he pleaded with her for aid. She demanded a sacrifice. She rejected all of his offerings until he, at last, killed his own son in sacrifice. Þorgerða gave aid, and Hakon's enemies saw the giant striding amongst the ships, arrows flying from every finger and never missing their mark. Their morale was sapped, and Hakon won his battle.
She will survive. Come on, get up! Get up!